they failed in the final to UCD. But Knockmore have good news, because this man is able to play despite a back injury. That means he'll be lining out in left corner forward on paper, but tactically I feel that Knockmore might just be making a switch. Kevin O'Neill, what a full forward line. Kevin O'Neill, Pádraig Brogan and Ray Dempsey. Keep an eye on it. Crossmaglen line out as selected, which means that Jarlath McConville retains his place between the posts. And you can see it's a fairly strong lineup. The McEntee brothers, the twin brothers at centre field and centre forward, are a vital axis for this team. And up front, Jim McConville has been very much in the scoring stakes, as well as number 12, his younger brother, Oisin McConville, Ulster Club player of 1996. This is going to be a battle all the way to the final whistle, as these teams are very, very evenly matched. This is the full forward for Crossmaglen, Gavin Comiskey. He scored 3 points in the championship so far, and very much the unsung hero for the club, a target man, and more of a distributor than a scorer. Kevin O'Neill, this is the man that very much Knockmore will be depending on. He scored 114 so far in this championship, 1-7 in the semi-final, and he of course was an all-star 4 years ago, and he's still only 22 years of age. The battle at full forward and indeed full back will very much depend on this man's performance. This is Donald Murtagh. He's a greenkeeper at Monaghan Golf Club in terms of his profession, but in terms of his work, in terms of Gaelic football, he's very much on duty at number 3. And his battle with either Pádraig Brogan or Raymond Dempsey will be crucial. This is Joe Davis, left half back, very much a speed merchant. He had trials with several clubs across Channel, including Everton, I believe, but he decided to stay put, and he's a vital part as well of the Knockmore half-back line. There you can see the Crossmaglen boys getting their photographs. Perhaps they'll be optimistic that it'll be in the papers tomorrow as All-Ireland Club champions. Big Pádraig Brogan. We'll be hoping that there'll be no replay, because he's getting married on March 31st to Siobhan O'Neill. And that would really mess things up if there was a draw here. We'll be hoping for a victory in this Knockmore's very first appearance in an All-Ireland Club football final. Again, the photographer is very busy in the centre of the field. And Joe Kernan, when I spoke to him last evening, he was quietly confident that his boys have matured enough to win this All-Ireland title. This is Pat Reap. He retired during the year, but Eamon Clark persuaded him, and his very first appearance was in the semi-final. He takes the place of Jerry Walsh, who did very well in the Mayo and Connacht Championship. But this man made great saves against Éire Óg in the All-Ireland Club semi-final in Mullingar. This is Jim McConville, captain of Crossmaglen, all-star replacement in the past and a man of the match in the county final. He's been absolutely superb as both a captain and indeed as a scorer. And this is the picture that the Knockmore people will be hoping will be in the papers tomorrow. Mayo and Connacht champions. It's an amazing achievement, really. 25 years ago, they won their very first championship. That was the Mayo Intermediate Championship. And in their very first attempt in 1973, they won the senior championship. And since then, they've added on 7 county Mayo titles. I'm sure people like Father Sean Durkin, who came to the club in 1960 and gave it a new life, will be very, very proud to see today his team, his colours, the parish of Knockmore. And the Bishop is here as well this afternoon, adding a little bit of vocal support. Some well-known photographers on duty here as the substitutes leave the scene, and these are the boys along with their manager Eamon Clark taking the final shots before the battle begins. President Jack Bootman taking his seat again after presenting the cup for the very successful Athenry team. Referee this afternoon, of course, is Brian White from Wexford. He refereed last year's minor football final, and this is a big day for him as well. Now, let's see what's going to happen here. This is going to be an interesting decision before the game even begins. See which way the teams will decide. Jim McConville is calling. And Knockmore's Kevin Staunton wins and decides to play, I think, judging by the hand signals, to play against the breeze. It's a fairly strong breeze here actually in Croke Park this afternoon, blowing as we look at it from our position here in the Hogan stand from right to left. And the tricolour there gives you just exactly what I was describing verbally. The interesting thing about Kevin Staunton, of course, he is actually the vice-captain. The real captain is a substitute, and he will be hoping that maybe if they win, Hughie Langan is the captain of Knockmore. And Kevin Staunton, they've already decided that if Knockmore win the All-Ireland Club title, it'll be Hughie who'll be getting the Andy Merrigan Cup. Just another check on the team. Crossmaglen Rangers, Jarlath McConville between the posts, Donald Murtagh full-back. Francie Bellew will be playing at centre-half-back. Would you believe that there are 13 of the team that won the Under-21 Championship playing today for Crossmaglen? They won 4 Under-21 Armagh Championships, and there's 13 of that side lining out at Croke Park. It shows you that what youth and great determination and hard work at club level can do. This is Oisin McConville. I think you'll be seeing a lot of him here in Croke Park. Huge support for Knockmore this afternoon. They've really taken over Croke Park. There's Kevin Staunton, Pat Reid. These are the names that are going to be very familiar to you over the next hour or so. But it's up front that Knockmore have the great strength. A half-forward line of Declan Sweeney, Peter Cawley and Shane Sweeney, added to by these men, Kevin O'Neill, Pádraig Brogan and Ray Dempsey. Very picturesque scene here in Croke Park. Common Lucas Gael proudly boasts a wonderful club structure, and I think that the fact that the Railway Cup has subsided in terms of its popularity, not amongst the players, has been replaced by a wonderful day here at Croke Park on St Patrick's Day, and the 4 best club teams in Ireland reach headquarters for what must be, for the ordinary club player, an emotional moment. This is Eamon Clark, manager of Knockmore, saluting the people of County Mayo and indeed all of Connacht. An emotional Eamon Clark, it must be said, when I spoke to him in the dressing room about a half an hour or so ago. Tense and nervous. One interesting piece of information about Crossmaglen: they have not been beaten in challenge, tournament or championship match since the very first round of the Armagh Championship in 1995. It adds up to 44 games unbeaten. It's a remarkable achievement. Can they win the 45th? If they do, they'll be the best club team in Ireland. Joe Kernan played here 20 years ago for his county of Armagh against Dublin in an All-Ireland final. Twice an All-Star. He's now very much the man in charge of Crossmaglen. interesting styles will be evident here in Croke Park. Crossmaglen play a short, nippy sort of a game. The man who's been guiding Crossmaglen is, of course, our own Sunday game analyst and former Meath star Colm O'Rourke, just there in the background. But Crossmaglen, as I was saying, very much a short passing game, using their full forward line as quickly as possible with a low ball. In contrast, Knockmore play the long ball, and when you have those three people playing in the full forward line, I think you'd do the same if you were lucky to have them playing for you. Knockmore will be hoping that that breeze maintains its strength for the afternoon. An interesting decision to play against the breeze in the first half by Knockmore. At Croke Park on All-Ireland Club final day, Aran Navean. The national anthem is over. The Artane Boys Band depart Croke Park. And Brian White is only moments away from starting what must be really the most talked about club football final in recent times. Looking across at the Cusack stand, it's almost packed to capacity. And I can guarantee you that the Hogan stand is full. The All-Ireland Club Football Final is underway. Crossmaglen in the black and amber, playing with wind advantage in the first half. Comiskey to Jim McConville. Nippy, captain from Crossmaglen. Colm O'Neill brought down with a fairly hefty challenge there by Peter Butler. And that's going to be a free. The referee there indicating with his hand to his chest that it was a frontal charge rather than shoulder. Oisin McConville. Goal and 23 points so far in this championship. And it's his first point in the All-Ireland final. "37 seconds gone in the first half. Wonderful fielding from Kevin Staunton. Battle going on between Ray Dempsey and Donald Murtagh. And Ray Dempsey was being given the advantage by the referee. Oisin McConville. Gavin Comiskey, a little bit too strong. Cathal Short doing well to gather. That route to goal is rather firmly blocked. Back to Short, looking for a little bit of outside help. Nice play. This is big Colm O'Neill. What an influence he had in the club semi-final. Left half back is Gary McShane, and Crossmaglen have their second point of this All-Ireland final. One from play and one from a free. A lot of hard work here by Crossmaglen. Short passing game, very evident, but it paid dividends. An easy ball for Donald Murtagh. Point scorer Gary McShane. Given away to Peter Butler. Joe Fitzpatrick. Quite happy to see it go out over the sideline. Well gathered again by Peter Butler. Very important factor is his performance for Knockmore. It's going to be a free for some pushing, yes. Brian White just indicating off camera. This man has been a Mayo senior intercounty footballer for the last 5 years. Kevin O'Neill. Knockmore's first point is on the scoreboard. And ironically, their first point in the cup final is also from a free. Charlotte McConville didn't play in the Armagh Senior Championship. He came in to the panel just at the end last year when Paul Hirty was injured in a car accident. And he's done very well between the posts, including saving a penalty against Burren. Here's Colm O'Neill. And again, it's the same tactic as the semi-final in Crossmaglen, playing Colm O'Neill as a third midfielder. Tony McEntee, nicely punched outside. Very scrappy. And the referee, I think, is going to give a hot ball. Big Declan Dempsey in there with John McEntee and Anthony Cunningham. O'Neill scooping it down, but to a Mayo man. Very worried and anxious faces here at Croke Park. Peter Butler. Corey Krogan. Shane Sweeney. Lovely play by Knockmore. Nice combination. This man can score. He lobs it. It hits the crossbar. What a sweet move, though, by Knockmore. Declan Sweeney brought down. Yes, referee gives the decision. I don't really know why the Crossmaglen man was protesting. A lovely piece of play here by Knockmore. Great interpassing. Brogan sending that ball in, and Charlotte McConville was happy to see it come off the crossbar. This is the free, and that's gone wide. First wide of the match for Knockmore. Both teams seem very tense in this opening 6 minutes of play. Knockmore should be gaining in confidence as a result of that nice interpassing move. Declan Dempsey finds his brother Ray. He's trying to squeeze it through. Brogan again. His strength is so vital. Crossmaglen have it, however. John McEntee coming forward. Not willing to part with it. Again, they emphasize this short passing game. Nice running here. Tony McEntee giving it to Oisin McConville, and McConville sends it wide. Oisin, his first wide of the match. Big Colm O'Neill knocking it down for John McEntee to take up the running. Peter Butler coming into challenge. Again is McConville. This is one to test out any goalkeeper. He misses it! He misjudged it completely. Crossmaglen can celebrate, but even Oisin McConville is slow to react. This was a testing ball for Pat Reid. The Knockmore goalkeeper was hesitant, to say the least. First he emerged off his line, then he realised the wind was going to take it, and it went into the back of the net. Disaster for Knockmore. It's probably what the game needed, because after a tense opening few minutes, now maybe the teams will settle. Gavin Comiskey is the target man. Running for it. Again, it's Tony McEntee. And it's John McEntee that takes the pass actually and puts it over the bar. Misses the goal again. Oisin McConville sending that one in. Pat Reid came off his line, then began to realise that this was going over his head and he couldn't do anything about it. Johnny Murta being held by Ray Dempsey, and Ray can't quite believe it. Knockmore have the situation under control here. Cathal Naughton, Kevin Staunton to Peter Butler. Shane Sweeney lofting one in, but Francie Bellew is there. The big Colm O'Neill. Surprisingly enough, Knockmore should have been aware of this tactic by Crossmaglen, and they've decided to keep their corner back around their half-back line. Interesting decision. This is John McEntee. It's very hard to distinguish between John McEntee and his twin brother Tony. They are quite literally identical. Here's the number 2, Fergus Sweeney. Coming off the ball. And leaving it in long, Kevin O'Neill. There's no support for him. And Crossmaglen have possession. And good defending by Crossmaglen. Well, that's what you call an avid and dedicated supporter. Martin Califf. Joe Fitzpatrick. Nice build up again, and a sweet ball to Jim McConville. Pat Reid comes off his line. This time confidently gathers it. Colm O'Neill. And the Knockmore defence are not having what you would call a confident afternoon so far. Ball for Kevin O'Neill. Paddy McKeown is right beside him. O'Neill trying to float it across to Ray Dempsey. Corey Brogan is there, taking a shot, and again off the crossbar, but this time over the bar. Corey Brogan, his first points in the All-Ireland final. Knockmore back in the match. Just getting his long left leg to the boot and going off the crossbar. Pushing by Knockmore. Kevin Staunton and Declan Dempsey between them. And the guilty parties. John McEntee. Floating it into his call short. Pat Reid is out. Tomas Burke, left cornerback. Played here in the '92 minor All-Ireland football final for Mayo. So he has gained a bit of experience here at Croke Park. This is him again. gives it straight to an opponent. Anthony Cunningham. Cathal Naughton. Graham O'Hora. And Crossmaglen are tackling with tremendous determination. Fairly, it must be said as well. Donald Murtagh doing well here. His support is in the form of Paddy McKeown. John McEntee. Francie Bellew. Ball into space for Jim McConville to come across from his right corner forward position. Good work by the captain. Nippy to say the least, giving it to brother O'Sheen. He's looking for the return pass. Here's McConville, survives the challenge. Tony McEntee brought down. It's not pretty to watch, but is exciting. Colm O'Neill, and that's gone wide. This is Dr. Michael Moffat, one of the Knockmore selectors. And he's not happy. Falls nicely for Peter Cawley. Kevin Staunton. Powerhouse at midfield. Going forward, this is a nice move. Kevin O'Neill. Good point. The second in this All-Ireland final. When Knockmore do go forward, they can indeed put together some nice moves. Kevin Staunton and Kevin O'Neill being involved here. Colm O'Neill. Warwick Brogan. What strength the number 14 has. And that's a ball that'll test any full-back. Murtagh gets a fist to it. Down to Francie Bellew. Over towards Jim McConville again. Nice handy push in the back there. And the referee has now given a free. And I think, to Brian White's credit, he gave the free for that push on Jim McConville. Moss Burke involved in that incident. It's a low ball for Cathal Short. Tony McEntee to his right. This is McEntee, shot going for the return. Nice play by Crossmaglen. Well got down. Moss Burke there again. Peter Cawley trying to help out his defence. Kevin Staunton, here comes the long ball. And a little nudge there by Kevin O'Neill, not working out, and you can see it's a little bit of tension creeping in between the players. It's a great ball for Anthony Cunningham, but well read, however, by Fergus Sweeney. Peter Butler, 1992 Mayo Footballer of the Year. Crossmaglen now seem to be capable of dealing with anything that Knockmore throw at them. Seems to have settled a little bit more. Free against Cathal Short. 16 and a half minutes gone now in this first half. Again, Colm O'Neill. Low ball to O'Sheen McConville. Oh, and he nips inside Peter Butler, who came with more of an elbow than a shoulder, and that's a very good point. A goal and 2 points for O'Sheen McConville out of that total of 1-4. A nice, well-worked move. Very much an individualistic sort of style here by Oisin McConville, had the confidence to go past 3 Knockmore players with score. Pushing again by Knockmore. It's the 8th free for Crossmaglen. Kevin Comiskey getting it a second time round. Anthony Cunningham. Thought the sport was from outside. Another testing ball for Pat Reap. This time he has it. But then he gives it away to Carl Short. Jim McConville. Good block down. Peter Butler. Tomas Bork. Winning it slowly. Warwick Brogan. 2 Crossmaglen lads falling in his wake. Remember, Knockmore are playing against the breeze in this first half. An easy ball for Tony McEntee, who, despite wearing number 11, is very much operating as an extra defender. So a lot of tactics by Joe Kernan working out in this first half. Cathal Short can't reach it. Line ball for Knockmore. I think that Joe Kernan will be reasonably happy with the first 18 minutes of play. The side have settled and they've been boosted tremendously by a rather lucky goal. They lead, in case you just joined us, by 1-4 to 3 points. Anthony Cunningham. Oh, well dispossessed for Kevin Staunton. Jim McConville has the time to just delay a little bit in the pickup. Peter Butler. Free for Knockmore. Kevin O'Neill. That's another free. Kevin O'Neill with the free. Dangerous ball. And that's gone over the bar. 1-4 to 4 points. Kevin O'Neill with 3 of that Knockmore total. Anthony Cunningham waiting for the ball. Big Colm O'Neill again as the target. Knockmore cleverly punching it away from him. Declan Sweeney. And there's space opening up in front of him. Good run by Sweeney and a very good point. His first of the All-Ireland final. 2 points between the teams now. Nice run by Sweeney, and the space opened up in front of him beautifully. He took his point. Interestingly, I see that Joe Kernan is going down to his defence to try and reorganise them. As the other end, Oisin McConville going for a score, and he drives it wide. Third wide of the match for Crossmaglen. This is a game that has failed to ignite so far. A lot of frees, a lot of short passing that seems to be going astray at times. Joe Davis trying to get his teammates to move off the ball. Brogan going down on Donald Murtagh. Tony McEntee going to take the free. Well gathered by Peter Cawley. Declan Sweeney trying to get through Francie Bellew. That's going to be a free for Knockmore. Kevin Staunton. Plenty of Crossmaglen players there, including Jarlath McConville, Gary McShane, and Martin Califf, all involved. Tony McEntee. Remember, he's the centre-half forward, operating as an extra defender. 9 ball for the Armagh champions. Jim McConville being fouled by Tomas Burke, and another chance for Crossmaglen to add to their scoring. Anthony Cunningham is going to take this free. This young man is a student in Jordanstown. He's scored 4 points so far in the championship. His first free attempt. That's over the bar. Good point for Anthony Cunningham. Crossmaglen restore their 3-point advantage. Well won by Joe Davis. Just delaying a little bit too much with it. Fouled by his opponent. Again, to pump the ball in long. Kenny McKeown doing very well to just get a hand to the ball. Tony McEntee taking it up. Cahill short. Aiming at a Jim McConville. Oh, what a ball. Can he get inside? He can. Still McConville going down, and the referee has given a free out. Correct decision by Brian White. He held on to it, took too many steps, but it was a sweet pass. Here comes Crossmaglen again. This is a chance. McConville, goal surely. Yes! Jim McConville, the captain, has found the net. He did it in the semi-final from a penalty. This time he got it from play. Anthony Cunningham giving it to O'Sheen, who made the space. Jim McConville was waiting at the edge of the small rectangle, and Pat Reid this time had no chance. But Crossmaglen have settled well. They are playing the better football consistently throughout this first half, and McConville had the cool head to put it through. This man has scored 3 goals and 5 points so far in the championship. Now it's 4 goals and 5 points. And this is the left corner back, Paddy McKeown, who picked up an injury in his effort there to get the ball to Tony McEntee, that in fact resulted in the goal. This is what it's all about. Will it go to Knockmore or Crossmaglen? At the moment, it's looking good for the Armagh champions. 26 minutes gone now in the first half. And they've decided to send in another one to Pat Reid. It's connected and Reid is there. Free out to Knockmore. This is the incident again. And Reap doing well to keep his ground. Colm O'Neill punching it forward. Cathal Naughton has established himself as the first choice fullback for Knockmore. That's definitely a foul on Graham O'Hora. Francie Bellew anticipated very well. Gary McShane. And Francie, the centre half back, is fouled. Free for Crossmaglen. We've now had a total of 24 frees in the space of 27 minutes. And that little statistic tells its own story of this first half. Here's Oisin McConville. It's a fine kick. In underneath it is Kevin Staunton. Graham O'Hora. Knockmore would like a score before that half-time whistle. Declan Sweeney sending it into the space for Kevin O'Neill to try and gather. Ray Dempsey is waiting for a high one. O'Neill goes the solo way, and very successful one it is. Good point for Kevin O'Neill. It really has been the most dangerous of the Knockmore forwards. Paddy McKeown sticking with them admirably, but unable to prevent him from scoring. This is Joe Fitzpatrick, and happy to just ease it out over the sideline. Peter Butler trying to squeeze it through. Kevin Staunton yet again. Poor pass, however. Gary McShane in the right position. Jim McConville. Anthony Cunningham. McConville is coming and calling for it. A poor pass, and he was hit as he kicked the ball away, and Brian White rightly giving the free. And to Declan Sweeney's credit, he acknowledges that the challenge was late. But despite that, he's going to be booked by Brian White. This is it again, Jim McConville, and there you can see the outstretched boot of Declan Sweeney. This is Jim McConville, who's now operating around midfield as well. And what an ambition has been for Jim McConville to see his club and his parish, Crossmaglen, reach Croke Park. He was very emotional after the All-Ireland semi-final victory over Long Rangers, and was relishing the challenge of playing yet again in Croke Park. Anthony Cunningham. Oisin McConville. One wide. Fourth wide of the match for Crossmaglen. And after 30 minutes of what could best be described as uninspiring football, Crossmaglen lead thanks to a very lucky goal by Oisin McConville. Another McConville scored a second goal. Crossmaglen lead at half-time by 2-5 to 6 points. It's going to be an interesting second half. We'll be back after.
Forced then to take the Anti-American Cup up north, 5 points up against Knockmore at Mayo half-time in the All-Ireland Club Football final. John Maughan, the Mayo manager, has been watching that match with me, and John, I suppose everything has gone right from a Crossmaglen point of view and not from a Knockmore point of view.
Yeah, unfortunately for Knockmore, they needed a good start. They're playing against the breeze, whatever breeze is there, and then they conceded a rather unfortunate goal. Pat Reap will have certainly nightmares were Knockmore to lose by a point or two.
We're going to have a look at it now, John. Here it is.
Okay, here we see a long ball out in the middle of the field. There is a swirling breeze there, and Pat got caught in two minds. Will I stay or will I come? And unfortunately for him, he decided to come, and a poor handling error. You'll see it right here now.
Well, Oisin McConville has been Rangers' top scorer through this championship. That's one he was, I'm sure, wouldn't have thought he was going to get.
Yeah, most goalkeepers should get that. Unfortunately, from Pat's point of view, he will be a little bit sorry to see that and watch that, the highlights of that, or the replay of that particular goal. Having said that, there is a significant breeze out there. I don't think that Knockmore are out of this game yet. You know, the Knockmore style of play is a long ball into the full forward line, and with the breeze that's in it, they're finding difficulty in getting a quality ball in, particularly to Kevin O'Neill and Ray Dempsey. Now Ray, I think, might be slightly injured. He has an indifferent first half, and hopefully they might be able to work the miracle on him. And from my point of view, I'd love to see Knockmore come out and make a real game of it.
John, whatever about the first goal, that was just one of those unfortunate things that happened. The second goal, Knockmore entitled to be far more cross of themselves about, because really they were opened up here.
That's right. I think actually it was Kevin Staunton who gave away a poor ball that was intercepted by a Crossmaglen player. And there again, they're creating terrific space up front. We see that totally unmarked, and stuck a great ball under the keeper's body. They are creating a lot of space inside. They brought big Colm O'Neill out to play as an extra midfielder, leaving lots of room inside for Jim McConville in particular. And he's difficult in any circumstances to mark, and he's causing a lot of trouble for the Knockmore defence.
I'm sure that Eamon Clark, the Knockmore manager, just couldn't wait to get his team back into the dressing room, to sit them down, to calm them down, because they'll have to try and put this behind them now.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, this game is not over. Like, I mean, 5 points, when you leave out that goal that was conceded by Pat Reap, like, I mean, there would be only 2 points in it, but the facts are there's 5 points down. They need to nearly score. Kevin O'Neill in particular is playing very, very well inside for them. And if they could get in there, get a nearly score on the board, I think we'd have a very, very interesting second half.
Because that full forward line in there, Kevin O'Neill, Porrick Brogan, of course, and as you said, Ray Dempsey, I mean, that's a lot of quality at club level. That's
right. I think in the second half in particular, Porrick Brogan will have to play a little bit closer to goal. He's a big man. He will cause defence, particularly the defence of Crossmaglen defence, lots of trouble if he gets the ball in the air. And I think they need to play him close to the goal in the second half. Unfortunately, from a Knockmore point of view, he found himself drifting out 40, 50 yards from goal. And if the need area scores, they've got to play him inside.
Well, it all remains to be seen what happens over the next half an hour. John, thank you very much for your thoughts on that, as we hand you back to our match commentator, Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Michael. The Artane Boys Band entertaining the crowd, and Crossmaglen in full swing at the moment. And if you were leading by 2-5 to 6 points, I think you'll be doing the very same thing. Boys from the County Armagh getting the full vocal backing of everybody in Croke Park. They not alone can play football in Crossmaglen, but they certainly can sing as well. It's a remarkable achievement, really. They're half an hour from a turnabout that I think will be spoken about for some time, Crossmaglen, if they can maintain their form for the second half. First round defeat in 1995, and since then 45 games unbeaten, and it's looking good. But then again, when you look at Crossmaglen's path to the final, you can see indeed why they're playing so well in this All-Ireland final. Beating Byrne of Down, Castleblaney, Balahi of Derry after a replay, and then of course the All-Ireland club champions Lawn Rangers from Killorglin in the semi-final. Rather large crowd here. They were expecting about 20,000 people. I think that Croke Park officials will be happy that estimate is about correct. New Cusick stand looking magnificent here this afternoon, and virtually packed as Knockmore come out. And I'd love to have been a fly on the wall to hear what Eamon Clark, Peter Hughes and indeed Dr. Michael Moffat were saying at half-time. They will have to upgrade their performance by at least, I think, 100%. And here's a man who is looking on and enjoying his retirement from Gaelic football as a player, the great Jack O'Shea, enjoying the All-Ireland Cup finals. And what a response Crossmaglen get as they run out onto the pitch for their final 30 minutes. Knockmore by no means out of this game. Remember, but they will have wind advantage in this second half. It's going to be a right old tussle, but I certainly hope, from a neutral point of view, that the standard of Gaelic football will improve, because the first half was dismal, to say the least. That's the score. Crossmaglen Rangers 2-5. The 2 goals scored by the McConville brothers. Knockmore 6 points, with Kevin O'Neill the top scorer with 4. One happy Knockmore supporter, as Brian White waits for all the officials to make their way to the dugouts, and he'll start the final 30 minutes of the All-Ireland Club Finals. Now, Eamon Clark has been very successful with this team, and this is surely the biggest test for Knockmore. Whatever about the first goal being very unlucky from their point of view, the second one really was a nice piece of work by Crossmaglen. And Knockmore have introduced a substitute. This is Tommy Holmes, and Tommy has taken up a position at left half forward. The final 30 minutes of the All-Ireland Club Championship of 1996-97, and that sort of passing which led to Crossmaglen's second goal is evident again. Anthony Cunningham, there's space, there's room, there's a chance, but it's gone. And Anthony Cunningham suffering the pains of that miss. Pat Reap, I'm sure he'll have nightmares as a result of that first goal for a long time. But it is, as John Maughan and Michael Lester were saying at half-time, very much a swirling breeze here in Croke Park. And at times for a goalkeeper, the wind can be a bigger obstacle and a bigger hindrance than rain in a wet ball. Again, the short ball. John McEntee. Two McEntee's physiotherapy students in Jordanstown. And they're coming again, and that ball is very much wasted by Oisin. And he's got a bit of a finger wagging from older brother Jim for not letting in a better ball. Now Knockmore. Let's see what you're made of in this second half. Martin Califf giving the ball in nicely to Tony McEntee. Jim McConville. There's nobody in around the rectangle, small or large. Ross Burke having problems with wee Jim, and that's going to be a free for Oisin McConville. Perhaps Anthony Cunningham might go across to take this. Already he's looking at the watch. So in fact it is Anthony that's gone across to take this free. This is a very young Crossmaglen side. Nicely floated over the bar. The second point of the All-Ireland final. Tony Holmes going up with Joe Fitzpatrick. John McEntee, his midfield partner, Anthony Cunningham. This is John McEntee's brother, Tony. For a foul throw, it's a free for Knockmore. The old-fashioned high ball up towards the forwards. Oh, well won by Donald Murta. John McEntee, crowd not liking the challenge from Kevin O'Neill. Big Colm O'Neill still operating as an extra midfielder, wearing number 15. Cathal Short, who got the equaliser from that position in Portlaoise against Lone Rangers. That pass carried a little bit too much strength. Tony McEntee cutting inside. Still McEntee, brought down. Referee allows the advantage. Good refereeing by Brian White. He needs a little bit of support though. Gavin Comiskey. Oisin McConville, 3 Knockmore players go left, he goes right. This is Joe Fitzpatrick, there's a chance of a goal. Oh! Joe! He blazes it wide, and maybe that's why he plays at right half back and not in the forwards. He was on the Armagh panel a few years ago as a forward, but playing far more effectively as a back. But this was fine work by Crossmaglen, and no doubt about it, a chance of a goal or a point at least. Joe Fitzpatrick's father, Paddy Fitzpatrick, was a great player with Cross back in the 1960s. Donald Murtagh. And Crossmaglen have all the time in the world to look around, enjoy the scenery, and then pass to a colleague. They're dominating all sectors of the field. Tony McEntee, a shoulder by Peter Butler, means they lose possession. This is Tommy Holmes to Kevin O'Neill. A little chip for Kevin Staunton. Giving it on to Corrick Brogan. And that is going to drop in and go out over the end line and wide. And that's Knockmore's second wide of the match. And you can see the frustration in the face. Declan Dempsey going up for it. And again, it's Crossmaglen. John McEntee. Kevin O'Neill fouling. That's a free. And I think to say that Knockmore are rattled would be an understatement. Already heads are just beginning to drop a little. Wee Jim McConville. To big Gavin Comiskey, there was a challenge after the ball was gone, and Tomas Burke will be lucky that he didn't get a booking from the referee there. And again, it's Oisin McConville. Top scorer in this All-Ireland Club Championship. In terms of one match, he scored 10 points against Castleblaney. And he scored 1 goal and 3 points here. They're looking better and better as the seconds tick away. We may have emphasised the Knockmore full forward line of O'Neill, Brogan and Dempsey, but they're not much good to you if you can't get the ball into them. Hefty challenge by Cathal Naughton on Oisin McConville, and the referee Brian White is going to speak to the number 3, and he goes into Brian White's book. This is the incident again. Oisin McConville going through, Cathal Naughton bringing him down. Anthony Cunningham, quite a steady free taker from this side of the field. This time floats it in. Knockmore come away with it. Oh, given away yet again almost. We're lucky. Peter Butler. Knockmore have